told her that. I said my parents.
That's right. Until you tell.
But I do want to tell you, Dr. Markham is becoming a big help for this tomorrow night. In fact, I'm going tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and he's letting me take the cameras early. But he's bringing his $20,000 cameras, the tripods, everything to see. Welcome, Tennessee Valley, this morning on this Tuesday. We are so glad you're with us today, Joe and Kim Palo, on Tuesday. And as we always tell everyone, we're not your regular Tuesday host, although of late, you know, we have been.
Right. Until the two guys are allowed
until
back.
The Mats
they've
are
got
back.
newborn babies and the wives. I mean, wish you'd have done that, but no.
Well, you know, we weren't doing a show. We weren't doing a show then.
I know.
Matt Ryerson, of course, and Matt Tolbert. We do appreciate them, and they will come back. Sarah Anderson as well.
Right.
They will come back at some date. Well, after the, I guess,
little
when the
summer
kids,
hiatus.
Yeah, when the kids grow up a little bit. So they're just born. So when they're about 18, I think they're going to be allowed to come back. But
well, Matt Tolbert, he has to come back.
Well, Matt Tolbert's on campus.
He's on campus, and so he's, you know, but I mean that
in
fall
fact,
season will start and back to work.
It's going to be right back again. But today we've got a great show, even though we don't have the Matt and Matts on.
That's right.
We have a wonderful show today. We
do.
have our current Distinguished Young Woman of the Year.
Yes.
Lexi Hill is with us to talk to us about.
She's just got her reign for a few more days.
A few more days, yeah. In fact, this weekend I think
That's
is
right. She has to hand
the
it over.
competition. But we're going to talk all about the competition and, of course, and how you can get tickets to be there.
I probably could qualify for the Distinguished Old Woman of the Year or Middle-Aged Woman of the Year.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I mean, I'm not, you know, maybe not.
Maybe even the Distinguished Young Woman of the Year, Kim.
For
I mean, you know, you can. I mean, the judges sometimes are way in the back. You know what I'm saying? And you're on stage. There's a lot of distance.
Looks pretty good from the road, right?
You know, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I always get myself in trouble.
In trouble? No, you're doing good.
Am I doing good
I'll
this
give you
time?
30 minutes to shut up.
But no, it's you know, and it's a great honor for the young ladies that win every year. And this is, I believe, the 55th year.
Wow.
They've
See,
been
he can't go that high, Dr.
No, not all of them are dead. So you know, they 55 years, and when you meet Lexi Hill, you'll see obviously a very beautiful young lady with a lot of talent, because it's not this. Okay, in the Distinguished Young Woman pageant, it's not based. It's not like a beauty pageant.
But she is beautiful.
She is beautiful.
What
they all are
say,
beautiful.
Joe? I mean, really.
I'm saying that it's not based just on when you see her, you'll think, wow, she's beautiful. No wonder why she won the pageant. But that's not just the reason. No. Talent and your, you know, what you aspire to be, all your education, everything. So it's kind of like a big melting pot.
And it used to be called the Junior Miss.
The Junior Miss, yes.
And now, because there's so many awards that go along with it and so much of a criteria, besides being beautiful, which she is, it is the Distinguished Young Woman of the Year.
And, you know, and we're talking about beautiful people. You know who else we have on? The very lovely Dr. Carl Height, president of Cleveland State Community College, is also with us.
He's fixing his hair.
Now I will tell you, he did get that position based solely on his looks. That's how that works. So, no, I jest. We kid because we love.
Yes, we kid because we love.
But Dr. Height is here, and he's going to talk to us about, of course, Cleveland State, and then the political forum that's going to be happening tonight.
Tonight, live.
Yep.
Live from Cleveland State
From
campus.
the campus.
Yes, we are going to have a live political discussion. And one of the discussions is the wheel tax, and that's got a little heated up.
Oh, yeah, that has gotten a little heated up.
Yeah, a little heated up. Can't say a whole lot out loud. Joe's offended several people this
I have, but not about the wheel tax, because
Joe,
we're for it.
Right.
We'll let everybody, we're on record, we're for the wheel tax.
You better, Joe, honestly.
Well, I let people get mad at me for that. This is for education. If they can't jump on that bandwagon, give me a call. My number is 555-1212.
There you go. I'm surprised you didn't give my phone.
I probably should have. But no, I mean, that's a good thing. And we do talk about this, and we kind of are jesting now, but it is a serious topic. Some people for, some people against. But this is to help, obviously, in the education aspect, building some new schools, taking care of those trailers that are on some of these schools, getting rid of those and getting a nice building, that kind of thing. And so it's going to be, it's going to
be a little heat, but live tonight, and we'll talk to Dr. Hyde a little bit about that later.
Talk to Dr. Hyde about that, and also about some of the other things that are going on here at Cleveland State.
Yes, and well, right, what happened, and also we want to talk about the fair that's coming up at the end of the month.
Yeah, the Foothills Country Fair.
I'm just so excited because the Kansas City barbecue people are coming in, and they were so excited just to have like 22 or 23 teams to register, but they've got 55 so far. And these are the big boys. These are the ones you see on TV. They're coming to Cleveland the end of the month. So get your bibs and
in fact,
get your smackers ready. It's going to be a good time at the Foothills Country Fair.
One of the head judge, and I forget his name, escapes me, but he recently won the Kansas City Barbecue Cook-Off and won like 50 grand. For cooking some barbecue. You better believe it.
You need to get busy. What do you?
I know. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, I'm torn between the different things I want to do. I want to be a professional do I want to be a professional golfer? Am I still thinking that I can get into the NFL?
No.
I mean, I've just got all these things in my head.
Joe, I know.
But barbecue may be the best route.
Of time passing, why don't we take a commercial break and get to the nitty-gritty?
We'll do that. We'll do that. We got a great show, as we said. We have Lexi Hill, current Distinguished Young Woman of the Year, and Dr. Carl Height, President of Cleveland State Community College. When we come back after this commercial break, stay tuned.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Bradley County is home to a community of resilient, compassionate families who want the best for each other. The tragedies of the April 27, 2011 tornadoes brought our community together to bring aid to the hurting and helpless. It is time to come together once more. The Bradley County school system is underfunded, and our future leaders are receiving their education in substandard learning environments. On August 2nd, you will have an opportunity to further impact our great community by voting for the wheel tax. A vote for the wheel tax will not only rebuild Blue Springs Elementary School, but it will provide a new facility that is engineered to meet the demands that technology places on the infrastructure. The overcrowded Walker Valley High School students and teachers will have much needed space and be able to use academic rooms for their intended purposes. The students and teachers of Lake Forest Middle School will no longer endure the hazardous conditions caused by the elements of nature and deteriorating classroom buildings. British philosopher Herbert Spencer stated, "The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action." Would you take action in the name of education and vote yes for the wheel tax? A vote for the wheel tax is a vote for the children and the future of Bradley County.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning on WTMB as I sit here in my white shoes. Boy, that James, put that lower third up as fast as you can. I feel like Peter Pan. I am sitting here now as, see, Dr. Hyde earlier was going like this, but watch how I dig back out. I'm sitting here now with two very beautiful women. Two young women. Gonna say a young and a.
I don't think that's what he was talking about, Joe.
Huh?
I think it was more.
You don't think he was talking? I was digging myself a grave.
No, that's not what he was thinking.
That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking I'm getting deep in here. Is what he was thinking.
Oh, that too.
Because you were.
Well, digging myself a grave. Yeah, same thing. Either or.
No, you were talking about how I could be the young distinguished. You don't even listen to yourself, do you?
No, I don't. Really. I just talk. But we are joined by Lexi Hill.
I know.
And we want to thank Lexi for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Lexi is the current Distinguished Young Woman of the Year. She is from Ray County, Dayton, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
And soon to be UT
bound.
Yeah, UT freshman.
Tennessee. Yeah, freshman.
Good for you.
Terrific.
Good for you. So
that's beautiful.
How did you get started in the program for the Distinguished Young Woman? I mean, what made you decide to go that route?
The program starts at the end of your junior year. That's when you start on the local level. And I was approached by the person that runs it, and she's been in my life for many years as my mom's best friend. So I've known about the program through her, and she told me, I think this is something that'd be great for you. You have to give it a chance. She goes, I know it's getting on stage, but once you're up there, you're going to be glad that you did.
Sure.
So I signed up for it. I went into the program. It's junior girls. So I was with a lot of my friends. You go to Bond and you're having fun. And then after I won Ray County's Distinguished Young Women program, that's when I knew I would be going to state and representing Ray County. And I knew that state is definitely a lot tougher. You're another level up. These girls have been there, done that, and they are just so prepared and so amazing. So I went to state just thinking I was going to have a great experience. And I came to Cleveland for a week, and I ended up winning that also.
Lo and behold.
Lo and behold.
Lo and behold.
And to this day, I almost have $10,000 in scholarships from the program.
Good for you.
That's great.
Yes, and it's just
Good for
been
your mom and dad.
Yes.
Good for mom and dad.
Good for the pocket.
That's right.
But it's also been so great for my personality. I do want to be an attorney someday, so it's given me this great public speaking outlet where I can grow as an intellectual woman as well as a woman that has great stage presence and is able-bodied in the world and ready to go take her dreams on.
Oh,
Wow.
well, good for you. Good for you.
I mean, and just, I mean, there's so many things, I guess, that you get out of this competition.
Right.
And as we talked earlier, as we went on, this isn't based on beauty. This is based on a lot of different criteria. Tell us what the title is based on.
The criteria, the part that you guys are going to get to see if you come out this weekend is you get to see the fitness portion, which is 15%, which is a fitness routine. There's the self-expression, which is also 15%. That's the one that most people know because you have to get on stage and answer a question, and that's where the audience gets to get into the girl's life a little bit. And then there's the talent portion, which everyone loves watching, which is 25%. Then you have the interview, which goes on before, and this is the critical portion of it because that's when it's just the single girl and the judges, and they can ask her anything in the world from politics to what she does in her spare time, community service. That's 25%. And then there is the big secret, we call it, and that is your grades, which take up the rest of the percentage, and it's ACT score and your GPA.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things that you have to be very well versed in.
Yes.
Looks like you've done very well with the interview part because you just are such a natural. Going to be a great
Oh,
attorney.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So now you're going to hand over your crown this weekend, right? You
Yes.
have to hand it over, and there's a competition. Where's that going to be, and how's that all working out with you?
It's taking in the brand new Bradley High School, the Fine Arts Center, and it's going to be taking place Friday and Saturday night. It starts at 7 p.m. And I think you have a number to dial if anyone's interested in getting some tickets.
That's a number.
I absolutely
There's
do.
those big
and
numbers again.
yeah,
Where'd
and
you
Friday
put
and
it?
Saturday night. See, you were right. Friday and Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Tracy Fant, who's the chairman of the Distinguished Young Woman.
Her and her husband, Tracy and Charles, are the chair people, and they are absolutely incredible what they're going to be doing for these 20 girls.
Great
They were here last year before the competition, and we really had a great interview with them.
But you would call Tracy, and you can get tickets. Her phone number is 802-0088. That's 802-0088. Call Tracy. Get your tickets in advance, or you could get them at the door. True?
Yes, you can.
And they're $30. Tickets are still available, $30. Students with their ID, it's $15. Now, this is for the 2-day event. True?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it's 2 days because there is a lot that you have to see. Each talent is 1 minute and 30 seconds. The talent portion is around 10 minutes. So it's a lot to pack in, and there's also some great special entertainment that's coming. We have the Distinguished Young Woman of America coming this weekend.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yes. I just spent 2 weeks in Mobile competing at the national program. So I got to know this girl very, very well. Her name is Christina Maxwell from North Carolina, and she'll be performing for us on Saturday night. And so it is definitely something that you need to come see. She's an incredible young lady.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's a great thing to come see this weekend. I mean, it really is. I mean, because there's a lot of really great girls in our area, and then to see the national champ, that's just a bonus.
And for those of you that are not so young anymore, that have that thought, that have that thought maybe that I wonder the hands that our country is going to be in the future. Come to this event and you'll see the young women and very, very polished and very mature and just it's in great hands.
Right.
We'll say that.
In great hands. So
We'll
what
say
did
that.
you get to do? What did you get to do this past year? I know it's been
Wow.
overwhelming and just so much. Just some of the highlights.
That is a big, big question. Some of my favorite things that you get to do is the Be Your Best Self program is our national outreach program. So I get to go to all the 3rd grade schools into the area, and the Boys and Girls Club of Cleveland also had me as a guest. And I get to work one-on-one on what's important, what they're going to be going through in their life. Of course, high school is a really big deal, and you're going to be facing a lot of questions, and it's how to stay on the right path and how to stay true to you when you're going through all these things. So that is so much fun to get to meet and interact with kids. Just this week, one of my favorite things that we get to do is we went to Garden Plaza and got to work with the residents there, and they always love having us, and they are so great to talk to. It's just learning how, and it's not really what you're doing, but instilling into these girls to get into the community. When we were in Mobile, we got to do a lot of community work. I got to work with something called Woody Song, which is with autistic children, and that was incredible. We got to work with Habitat for Humanity and Boys and Girls Clubs that were in Mobile, and it's something that you might have been scared to do before you got into the program, but when you have your best friends beside you and you see what can come out of it, then that's installed in you for the rest of your life.
Right, and not only, and that seems like that's such a rounded program to where not only are you instilling like in the young people and that type, but you've got the seniors that are instilling in you as well, and then you're learning from the different areas there. So it's really a great program to give to, but you're going to absorb like a sponge.
So much
out there for the rest of your life. Well, I know you've just had a great time, and it's a little bit sad that, are you just so excited? I know it's going to be hard, but you've got UT coming up in the fall.
Yes, I do, and I'm so ready to be in college and start that next place in my life. And this program has affected me so much and impacted me as a person that I feel so much more ready for college. And the decision I'll be making and where I'll be going with the rest of my life and my career path, and you just feel so much more sure yourself and confident in who you are and better prepared for the future.
Yeah.
See, Joe, if we'd had a daughter, I believe Lexi would have taken a lot after me. Like,
that's what I'm thinking.
You know what I'm thinking?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, gosh, I wish it would have been open to guys back, and then I would have joined the thing. You grow up. I mean, she's more grown up than I am already. But a couple of things here, too. We do want to tell everyone to check your Cleveland Daily Banner this week, because every day they're doing some type of a story or kind of an update on what you all are going through each day. Because you do, it's not just like all you girls come in to the community, or the ones that come in all to for the pageant, or the contest, I should say, and you just kind of wait for those 2 days and do that. You're doing stuff all day, every day for the entire week.
Yes, it's a very busy schedule. Like I said last night, we were at Garden Plaza with the residents. This Thursdays we will be at the Greenway, so you can come and meet the girls that'll be competing, because they are going to be representing your area and representing your state. One of those girls is. So you get to meet, talk to us, but we are in the community every single day. It's a very jam-packed week, but it is so much fun.
I'm saying it's going to be a jam-packed Greenway. What do you think,
Oh,
Joe?
yeah. Well, there's 20 participants, 20 girls this year.
Yes, there is.
Oh, wow. See?
From all over the state, so it's going to be. That's very exciting, Lexi. We're very proud of you.
Very proud.
Where you're in our area, so we incorporate this whole area. So Ray, Meggs, Bradley, Paul, McMahon.
We are claiming you.
We're claiming you. That's right. But again, folks, if you'd like tickets to the event, they're still available, 802-0088. Call Tracy Fant, or you can get them at the door. $30 tickets, adults, students with an ID, $15. It's going to be at the Fine Arts Center at Bradley Central. So
Brand new spot, guys. It's worth even
beautiful,
going to take a look
beautiful
at that.
building there. Yeah. So again, Lexi, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you
We
for
do
having
appreciate
me.
it.
Have a good time.
And again, as Kim said, it's going to be kind of sad, but as you said, then it just moves you into the next chapter of your life.
And much more prepared, so congratulations to
Thank
you.
you
And
so
good
much.
luck.
Thank
Best
you.
wishes to you.
Thank you. Lexi Hill, our current Distinguished Young Woman of the Year from Ray County. And again, we claim her.
We
She's
claim
ours.
her. She's ours.
All right, we're going to be back. We got Dr. Carl Hite on the way, president of Cleveland State Community College. Right after this commercial break, please stay tuned.
Hello, I'm Robert Thompson. I'm a partner here at the law firm of Logan Thompson, and I've been practicing law for about 25 years. I focus primarily on complex litigation cases involving serious personal injury. To establish liability, it's important that we thoroughly investigate your case. And we're fortunate here at Logan Thompson to have a full-time investigator on staff, and once we establish liability, next we turn to the issue of damages. Under Tennessee law, you're entitled to be compensated for 5 elements of damages. The first is property damage, and then your medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, and loss of enjoyment of life. If you or a family member have been injured in an automobile accident and would like to sit down and discuss with us what you're entitled to, please give us a call at your convenience. There's no charge for the initial consultation. I'm Robert Thompson with the law firm Logan Thompson, and we'd be honored to help you.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100. Hello, welcome back. Tennessee Valley this morning on WTMB. Joe and Kim Palo with you. It is Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a good morning so far. And as you can see, it's early, but he's always here early because the president,
Right.
Cleveland State
The
Community
buck
College.
stops here.
Joe, this is early.
I know. It'd kill a normal man.
That's right.
It'd kill a normal man.
Dr. Carl Hite has joined us, and we're going to talk to you folks about a little bit about Cleveland State, the debate that's coming up tonight, the forum, I should say, not debate, and some other things. So first of all, thanks for being with us.
Oh, well, thank you. I always love the opportunity to talk about Cleveland State Community College.
Which, a great community college, a lot of things going on. In fact, one of the first in the state, if not the first, was it?
One of the first three.
First three, okay.
They built the community colleges, one in each region of the state.
Right.
We were to serve all of eastern Tennessee, 19 counties.
Okay, wow.
Which I can't imagine someone driving from Morristown, commuting to Cleveland State, but that was the original plan, and then over a period of time, these other community colleges came into existence, and we serve 5 counties right now, but it's still very challenging. Each county has its own demands and its own interests, but we're up to meeting their needs.
And now don't we have some satellite campuses? One in Vonore.
We used to have. Well, we actually still have a site in Vonore, but we moved out of the site that we were in. That was a financial drain, unfortunately, on the institution. But what we discovered is there's more folks in Monroe County were going to our Athens site than was going to the Monroe County site. Because you look at the size of Monroe County and McMinn County, and depending on where you live, it was closer to come to us. And we also have, this is an interesting part of the state, for some folks in Monroe County, it's closer to go to Roane State. If you live in Meigs County, which is one of our counties, if you live on the south end of Meigs County, Chattanooga State is closer. We're closer in the middle, and then when they finished the bridge, that made a world of difference. Right. But then on top of that, they're close to the residents in northern part of Meigs County go to Roane State. So I'm okay as long as they go.
As long as they go. And it's kind of like they got together and they said, let's push a bunch of little counties in between the state line here and the state line. Let's put a bunch of little ones in there. And so they did.
Well, I moved here from another state, but I'm amazed at the number of counties that this state has for a state this size. And I think that presents some interesting challenges for the school systems in terms of funding.
It does. I mean, and you can see that. I mean, I'm always amazed at how many counties Tennessee has, and we know how to squiggle those lines as well.
Yes, we can move them around.
But you can educate them all. You've got them all covered.
That's our goal.
In this area.
You know, it's funny. I mean, there used to be, we have boundaries, so to speak, but the internet has changed that altogether. I mean, I can be in China and taking a course at Cleveland State and never set. In fact, I tell students when they first come here, you have a choice of the following schedules. You can come 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, 1, or not at all.
You don't have to darken the campus.
Right, and so we're seeing a significant increase in our enrollment as it applies to to online courses.
Sure.
Why not?
Right. Tell us about that. I mean, I'm not sure that many people are really aware of how much you can do online for Cleveland.
Well, that's the thing.
State.
I mean, you can get a full degree, and this is I'm going to talk about more than just Cleveland State in terms of the 2-year degree or a 4-year degree. You don't need to physically set foot on a campus to get that degree. And I think we're going to see more in the future of students. The growth has just been fantastic on the online side everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think people are realizing now that I can be studying at 3 o'clock in the morning. We have a lot of folks, we have half of our population's over 26, what we consider traditional, below 26, above 26, non-traditional. They're working, they have families. They don't have time to come to campus and sit in a classroom Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 o'clock. That schedule isn't going to work for them. So they now have options. What's amazing, and we have to figure this out in higher education, there's been a lot in the media lately about the fact that with all this open sourceware that you can take courses for absolutely nothing. MIT is putting courses out there, Stanford is putting courses out there, and so we in higher education, I think, have to figure out where do we fit in this mix, and I think one of the things we're looking at now, and the Tennessee Board of Regents is making a priority, is prior learning assessment. If you, let's say you've taken the course at MIT in Intro to U.S. History, and you can demonstrate to us that you've mastered the objectives in that course, we'll award you credit. So I can easily see is that a student's transcript could be made up of they took a course here, they took a course here, they took a course here, and it won't be Cleveland State providing all 60 hours of instruction. It will be, we'll provide maybe most of it or a part of it, but someone else, and we're okay with that as long as we feel that's an accredited organization. Or, and I think MIT and Stanford are fairly reputable. Yeah, we probably accept credit from them.
If you just got to.
Let us think about that for me.
We'll do it. But the important thing is to have the knowledge. That they have the knowledge. Anytime that I have to go and be tested as far, Joe tests me a lot on stuff, but no.
I do.
For higher education, I always get stuck in the math, though. I mean, I do. I say all right
we'll
through,
help
I think
you
I'm
with
great.
the math, believe me.
I get really great, and then they start using letters instead of numbers, and I'm like, oh man.
And powers.
We live in a knowledge-based society.
I know.
It's brain rather than brawn.
Yes.
And that's what's changed.
I know.
Yeah.
So let me come back to the math for a minute.
The math will kill you every time. You'll sail through it, and you're like, oh gosh.
We have, and I applaud the faculty here at Cleveland State, one of the biggest obstacles in students completing or continuing their education has been math. And unfortunately, a large number of students coming to Cleveland State do not test at college level. So they end up in developmental math. Well, we've had a group of faculty here who figured out a way to improve the performance such that just about everyone who starts developmental math successfully completes and moves on and does well at the college level, because we study the data to see how they do. And it's been marvelous to the point that the President, Obama, at the University of Texas, Austin, this was 2 years ago, in a speech indicated that Cleveland State has a program in math that needs to be replicated in every community college in the country.
Yep.
And we have tried to do that. We have probably been a consultant with probably between the director of the math department before he moved to Chattanooga State and our present director, Karen Wyrick, we probably have done close to 500 colleges and universities have either come to visit us or we've gone to them to explain to them. Because when you think about this, there's a lot of pressure in the state now, every state in the union, is to graduate more students.
Right.
But if I can't get out of developmental math, I will never graduate. I will never
right.
take a college level course. And so what we think is one of our goals is to increase graduation rates, that if we don't do anything else but just do the math, this will have a significant impact, because what we're hearing students tell us, I can do the math, therefore I can do any course you throw at me, I can pass. And
There's hope.
It's a confidence booster,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
math, think about this. If you say I'm not very good at math, the other person will say, oh, that's okay, I'm not good at it either. Do we say that to you? Well, I'm not very good at reading. Does that person then say, well, that's okay, I'm not very good at reading?
Right.
Reading's okay, you know, math is okay to be bad at. No, it's not okay to be bad
Right,
at.
absolutely.
And we feel that we have a solution with this redesign, because coming back to the online course, what we're finding out, students today prefer what we call a hybrid. It's kind of half you come to campus and half you do online. So there's still that social interaction. What we discover with traditional students, they come here for a variety of reasons.
Right.
We like to think the major reason is academic, but there's a social part there. Well, it's kind of hard to socialize online, and so I think we'll always have residential colleges or colleges that you actually come to physically take classes. But what they're liking, and this is what we did with the math, is that instead of lecturing 3 hours a week, they basically come to class 1 hour a week, and the rest of the time is spent in the lab, which can be on campus or they can work on it at home. So it doesn't matter. And then we have tutorial support 24/7. So if they get, let's say you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't sleep and you're going to do some math and you run across a problem, we're plugged into a company that provides us that 24/7 coverage. So there's really no excuse, well, you know, I need help during the day and you all aren't available at night. No, that one won't fly. We won't accept that one. And so it really has changed. We're looking to redesign all of our courses in this format where and they're calling it, if you see the terminology in newspapers are doing a lot of coverage on flipping classes.
Okay.
And what they mean by that is we'll videotape the lecture and ask the student to view the lecture before they come to class, so there can be a discussion. What was happening, let me give you the scenario with math, because this applies to some other courses. They would come to class and someone would lecture to them. So here they are trying to scribble down notes and trying to get everything down and really probably not having mastered what was being said. We then gave them homework. So they went home with no help and discovered that half the problems they couldn't do and the other half they did wrong. However, so the next time the class meets, they turn in the paper and it takes another week for it to be graded. In the meantime, the course has moved forward.
Right.
And so what was happening was failure was being built on failure. Well, now this changes everything, where they get the presentation, the video, for only about a 20-minute video to teach a concept. And then the faculty member works that room specifically right then and there to clear up any questions about concept and understanding. They then go to the lab to work the problems, and that's where the strength of the computer comes in, is the technology is such that they get immediate feedback. If they're working on a problem and they're having trouble with it, we have a system in the lab where the faculty member is there immediately to assist them. It works. And so we're looking at how do we do this with other disciplines to get the same results. So we're looking at English and reading. In fact, I'll applaud Matt Tolbert. You mentioned him in another program.
You're the only one. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Let me say this in case, you know, the Matt twins,
That's right, Matt and Matt.
Matt Ryerson teaches for us on a part-time basis and does a wonderful job, but Matt Tolbert teaches for us on a full-time basis, and we are not hard up. They're one of our best. Anyway, Matt has redesigned the psychology courses in a similar format, and what we're finding out, it works much better. The students like it. The faculty love it. And as I say, I think we're going to see in the next 3, 5, 10 years, major changes in how higher education is delivered in this country. And to me, what it comes down to is let the computer do what it does best, so the faculty member, he or she, can do what they do best. And grading papers is not something we need to saddle folks with when computers can do that and they can really teach. And that's what the math faculty have loved about this redesign, is that they're really giving a chance to teach rather than the laborious task of taking home papers and grading them. And I feel for the English teachers, But what we have...
Yeah, because that's a little subjective sometimes in English.
But let me tell you what's happening. And the teachers, they're coming around, but it's taking a little while. But there's computers now that can read a paper. Now, they can't necessarily read it for content, but for grammar and all those things. That if you can take away that part of the assignment for the English teacher, where they're only really reading for maybe creating paragraphs and so on, sentence structure versus the nuts and bolts, let the computer do that. And so we got to see, in other words, and the software is getting better day by day. I mean, I can see the day where a computer can totally grade a paper, but they'll never replace the instructor. That's the one thing. People get worried that, well, gee, I'm not going to have a job anymore because this computer. That will never happen. There's still the need for human interaction, that pat on the back. And so, to me, I think it will secure the faculty member in terms of their role, but in a very different way of relating with students. And I'm kind of excited about it because it's allowing us to reach more students. And what we have to do, this is when you talk about costs, you know, the governor's been talking about the fact that we've been raising tuition as much as we have, and unfortunately we just had a board meeting in Memphis. We raised tuition again, but we just got a report back from the state that in the last 2 years, in fact, the Chattanooga Times ran a story on it the other day, and they dealt with the area colleges. We were the only one that, in spite of the tuition increases, net cost went down. And I want to applaud our financial aid folks here at the college, because we are packaging more and more financial aid packages such that we're getting overwhelmed. I mean, the number of students now in financial aid is significant and has increased significantly in the last few years. But because of that financial aid, whether it's federal dollars, state dollars, institutional dollars, our foundation dollars, whatever it happens to be, we can put a package together that will then allow a student to attend. And what's happened is that the net cost has actually gone down over the last few years. And we're the only college that can say that in this area.
So there.
And really and truly, even with the increase in tuition, it's still very cost effective. The quality of education you're going to get here for the little bit of money you're going to pay is well worth it. And I think it's like, what, $1,500?
Yeah, we've gone up a little bit, but that's a good number to stay with.
Okay.
Because I tell you, people need to look at it as an investment, and it won't be an investment that will be returned the day I graduate.
Right.
It will take a while, but normally what they say is with an associate degree rather than just a high school diploma, on the average, you will earn an additional $500,000 in a 20-year work career. Well, $500,000, that's still a big number.
Yeah, I can spend that.
And so, you know, and I think when we look at, even in a recession, if you look at education level and who is employed and who is not, who is unemployed and who is employed, is that the higher degree, the less likely those folks are unemployed. Now, they may be underemployed, but they're employed.
They got a job.
And to me, that's really important these days. And I think, you know, this is, if you look at U.S. history, these cycles in the economy, this is nothing new. We'll come out of it.
Right.
I think, unfortunately, this one is taking a little bit longer.
Sooner or later, we're looking at later.
And if you're unemployed right now today,
it's
very, and so hopefully, you know, one of the things we see during a recession is people go back to school to get a skill. And so one of the areas that we're seeing a lot of growth in is across the country is looking for professionals to go into allied health careers. In fact, we were fortunate this past year, and I'm going to brag on our nursing faculty. We had to limit the enrollment in our daytime program because we can only place so many students in clinicals, and there are only so many clinicals. And when you look at the hospitals around here and clinics, we're also competing with Chattanooga State and Southern Adventist and UTC. They had to do placements in the same hospital. So all of a sudden, we couldn't take any more students because we didn't have any more clinicals. Well, we had a donor step up to the plate, a private donor, and it allowed us to introduce an evening program for part-time. Oh. And so we originally thought we'd have 25 students in the program. We had to stop at 50. And so, to me, we're trying to, you know, address this shortage of nurses in the future. I'm one of those aging baby boomers who will require significant health care in my later years. And I want to make sure those nurses are very nice to me and very qualified and know what they're doing. And I think our program has a wonderful reputation. This is just another avenue to put more students or allow more people to choose nursing as a career. be able to go back in this community. And I would say this, I'll bet if you walk into a doctor's office and a nurse takes care of you, or at a hospital, you ask where she got her education. And in this community, they're going to say Cleveland State.
You're right.
And so we're very excited about that, but we were hampered, and yet now with the evening program, because clinicals are available, because we one of the few that have an evening program, so we're not competing with a lot of other colleges to get that clinical space on weekends and at night. So it's worked out really well, and it's going to be a while. It takes about, it's an 18-month program, so it's going to be a while before we have that first graduating class, but we're very excited about giving those folks an opportunity who could not come to us full-time.
And you know, you were mentioning about the unemployed and getting employed. From what I've heard, that the new Volkswagen plant, just to work on the assembly line, just to work, to be able to understand the manuals, you have to have an associate's degree, a 2-year degree.
Let me share a story, because this Wacker is pushing the same type of, just because they work with a very dangerous chemical. They can't afford mistakes. Mistakes are very costly. The governor has been coming out, what he's concerned about in the state of Tennessee, because Volkswagen did discover this. They did get a very strong applicant pool, but that's because the size of the pool. What Volkswagen discovered, and this is a figure the governor's been using, so I'm going to assume it's correct.
You know, it's always
quoting the governor now.
I like this governor. But what was scary for Tennessee is that Volkswagen basically said 92 of every 100 applicants for jobs with Volkswagen were unqualified. Thank God for the 8. But one of the things that we have to...
And if you're one of them, congratulations.
Yes. What we have to do is take care of those other 92.
Yes.
And so what we're trying to do with Wacker had a similar experience where they had a large applicant pool. They narrowed it down, and in fact, that group is now in Germany, being trained in Germany because of the way they've got to see a plant and how it really operates. But they were a little concerned, and so what we're trying to do, we held the assessment on campus for Wacker. So all the folks who didn't get hired by Wacker, we're trying to reach. Unfortunately, the company that did the assessment doesn't want to share the data, but we have a solution for that down the road as our own assessment center, so that we can come back to those folks and say, okay, this is where you were weak on the assessment. We can help you address that weakness such that the next go around, because Wacker's, they've already sold their product for the next 2 years. They already have the buyers committed to buying their product. And they have broken ground, but it's still going to be a while before they actually start making that product. Well, they're expecting, and I'm hoping that this will happen, is in about 2 years there's going to be a huge demand for this raw material that goes into solar panels.
Right.
And so that's what they're betting on, but evidently a lot of other people are too, because they've bought their product, bought them out for 2 years. So we feel that there's some folks out there that we could help, but the issue now is getting a hold of that information. But that's why we're looking at, we were fortunate this year to receive a major gift from Wacker, in addition to a match from the state that allowed us to totally renovate our technology building. And basically half of the dollars went to the renovation, but the other half went to state-of-the-art equipment. So we really feel for business and industry in this community, we will have the state-of-the-art equipment, and we can do the training here at Cleveland State, so that in the future, the Wackers, the Volkswagens, we can make sure that if they plan on expanding or another company comes to town, that they'll have the workforce they need, because they'll have the opportunity if they have any deficiencies. We'll try to address those deficiencies as fast as we can, whether it's through credit courses, non-credit courses, a certificate, whatever it is that works for that person to get them qualified for that job. So we're kind of excited right now in terms of all these things happening. We're going to do a groundbreaking, or we hope to do a groundbreaking if the construction moves fast enough. In time, we're hosting the Tennessee Board of Regents in their September board meeting here in Cleveland. We're hoping the contractor has promised us the building will be ready the day before the board meeting. So hopefully no bad weather or anything that but you know, we're cutting it close. Hopefully this is going to happen. I know, yes, please. We want your prayers. Please, that actually I'd want your prayers right now for cool weather here in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's a good start. Let's pray for that first.
Well, I mean, you can tell that by listening that you are everything that empowers a community college. I mean, that you are looking out for that. And I'm just excited that I can figure out what X equals here, and I can do it in the privacy of my own home, and while I kick and spit at the computer, and I don't do that in class.
Well, the wonderful thing of that is,
so that is wonderful.
For a lot of people, you know, just the idea of a lot of people may have, as you said, have a problem getting there, maybe a problem getting up, getting ready, leaving here, going there. this is, and I use this, but this is a way they can sit around, for lack of a better phrase, and kind of like in their underwear, and just sit there. And
10,000 dead possums.
Underwear, I like to.
Look at the world of work. The world of work is coming to people's homes. How many employees now don't get in a car and commute to work? They sit at home, and they're saying the results are better than when they came into the office.
They can concentrate.
Yes.
And you can do it at your own, because we're night owls. I mean, this kills us. I know, but
kills me.
Yeah, it kills everybody. So we're going to take a break though, and
what are we going to talk about the forum
right? We have the forum tonight.
We've got some more from Dr. Haidt as we take this commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment with more of Tennessee Valley This Morning on this Tuesday. Again, thank you for joining us. We'll be right back after this.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Bradley County is home to a community of resilient, compassionate families who want the best for each other. The tragedies of the April 27, 2011 tornadoes brought our community together to bring aid to the hurting and helpless. It is time to come together once more. The Bradley County school system is underfunded, and our future leaders are receiving their education in substandard learning environments. On August 2nd, you will have an opportunity to further impact our great community by voting for the wheel tax. A vote for the wheel tax will not only rebuild Blue Springs Elementary School, but it will provide a new facility that is engineered to meet the demands that technology places on the infrastructure. The overcrowded Walker Valley High School students and teachers will have much needed space and be able to use academic rooms for their intended purposes. The students and teachers of Lake Forest Middle School will no longer endure the hazardous conditions caused by the elements of nature and deteriorating classroom buildings. British philosopher Herbert Spencer stated, "The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action." Would you take action in the name of education and vote yes for the wheel tax? A vote for the wheel tax is a vote for the children and the future of Bradley County.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning. Joe and Kim Palo. Again, it's Tuesday. Thank you for being with us. We are talking with Dr. Carl Haidt, president of Cleveland State Community College, as we continue our conversation. Let's talk about, as we were in break, we were talking about folks taking their credit and what they've learned here and moving it, and the state, I think, has done something new.
Yeah, I have to applaud Tennessee Board of Regents and the University of Tennessee. The faculty finally got together in all these disciplines to agree on what was a 100 or 200 level courses with what we teach, freshman, sophomore courses, and what were upper level 300 or 400 level courses at the universities. And so we finally have agreements in place that if a student will get the associate degree and take the courses that are prescribed, that entire degree will transfer and they'll have no additional requirements at the university in terms of their undergraduate education. Well, that's huge for us. In fact, I want to share some data that came out recently because this is really important. We just got a report back from ETSU, and it was a small handful of students we had the data on, but we leaped to some conclusions. Last fall, 13 students transferred from Cleveland State and entered ETSU for the first time. Of the 13, only 3 had completed their degree at Cleveland State. The rest transferred without getting the degree, and in most instances it was because they didn't have enough hours to get the degree. Well, they also sent us the GPAs, grade point averages for those students. And there was a national study that just came out, so I shared it with the new president at ETSU because it supported what we learned. The earlier they transfer from a community college, the lower will their GPA be at the university. The more hours they accumulate, the higher their GPA, and of course the highest being if they get a degree. But we also had students who qualified for the degree but never made application for the degree. So we're going to go back to those students and say, by the way, do you know that you could have gotten a degree? And the reason we think it's so important to get that degree, life gets in the way of a college education sometimes. And so here I am, I've gone to Cleveland State, I transferred early, I'm at a university, and let's say there's a tragic death in the family and I have to drop out of school. And I've completed my junior year at ETSU or any university. The last credential I have is a high school diploma. Why not get that associate degree? So if something should happen that postpones my education, at least I have that credential, which is 2 years beyond the high school diploma. And I have to agree with President Obama. He is basically saying is that everyone is going to need some post-secondary education. Now, whether that's with a 2-year college, 4-year college, with the technology centers, it doesn't matter. The jobs are so technical today, the skills that are necessary are so much higher that the good jobs will go to those who have a degree. And unfortunately, the choices for those who don't have some post-secondary credential is not going to be great.
Right.
And so to me, that's just where the world is today. One of the alarming figures that we have at the college, and this is just not Cleveland State, it's across the country. Our enrollment right now is roughly 65% female, 35% male. I did the math.
Look at him doing the math. Well, and we all know
Yeah, I
that,
didn't think about that.
65% are the smarter percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't go there.
Right. I will, but we don't have enough time.
But to me, that says a lot, because I think when you think about the implications of that down the road is that a lot of jobs, if they require a 2-year degree, 4-year degree, master's degree, whatever the case may be, women are going to have those degrees, not men. And men better wake up and figure it out that if you better go back to school, or your choices are not, you're not going to have a lot of choices. And so we're trying to get everyone to basically come to us. And it really isn't, you know, there's some criticism now appearing in articles in newspapers and TV and radio, the fact that college isn't for everybody. I wish what they would say is, but post-secondary education, because they're thinking of the 4-year college, and that's true. A 4-year college isn't for everybody, but post-secondary education is, and that's the point that we're trying to sell. And hopefully people will wake up, and that's why it's so important to get that high school diploma, because without it, we can't allow them to enroll and get that 2-year degree without either the GED or the high school diploma.
And you were talking about those the folks that have gone through the program and just didn't apply to get their degree. If you're going to go through the program and spend all the time and effort and knowledge to get the knowledge for it, why not go ahead and get that for just what you said?
Well, let me share. One of the things the Tennessee Board of Regents is doing is putting an emphasis on completions. The governor's made it a priority. Every state, I just came back from a national conference, and every college I talked to from other states, we're all doing the same thing, is that we've got to do a better job of getting the credential. And one of the things is what they call reverse transfers, that if you've already transferred but didn't get the degree, so we're trying to figure out a system that we can have the computer flag those students who, let's say, transfer. And at some point in time, let's say they took that sociology course or that English course at the university that then made them a graduate, is that it will flag it. Some communication will come back to Cleveland State so that we can get in touch with that student and say, hey, listen, you just graduated from Cleveland State. Congratulations.
Congratulations, baby. You're not alone.
And after you make your first $1 million, we hope that you'll give half of it back to our foundation.
That's right.
Remember us.
That's right. Remember us.
But you know, and really and truly, education, and not just for the aspect of jobs, but just in socializing and being part of, you know, our community.
Well, let me pick up on something, and this will be a nice lead-in.
Okay.
Civic engagement.
Right.
We forget about that whole piece of that. I'd like to think is that every college graduate will become involved in their community. They will also be an informed voter. They'll participate in the process. And so to me, there's been too much focus on the workforce development part. And I wish there'd be more on the civic engagement part, because, okay, if I get a job, and let's say average job is 8 hours a day, what am I going to do with all this other time? Well, I got to sleep, but then this is the sleep-starved generation, so they only sleep 5 hours or 3 hours. So that leaves all this additional time. Let's take out meals and if they have family commitments, but there's still some time to get involved in their community in some way. And so we're hoping through our service learning program, and we've got an excellent service learning program, that's where they actually take the skill they're learning in the classroom and apply it somewhere in the community, is that will carry on such that when they graduate they will get involved and will participate in the democratic process in a variety of ways, whether it's voting, whether it's running for office, school board, whatever the case may be, is that they're participating. And I'd like to think, why get an education, all those general education courses that make you think if you're not going to use those skills when you graduate.
Right. And I heard it, and I know he's a friend of yours too, a mutual friend, Representative Kevin Brooks.
Yes.
We're almost segueing. We're almost segueing.
We are. We're going to in a minute. We're going to. I just want to make this. No, I just want to make this. I just want to make this point.
But he's not going to fumble it.
No, he's not.
He said that we have to bring back to the young people the idea of them wanting to be educators and servants, politicians, because most young people today don't want to get involved in education, don't want to get involved in politics. They look at them as, that's not, but we need to bring that back, that servanthood. Now, I know we've got 4 minutes. I don't want to, but I had to say that because I thought that was a great point he made. Kudos to you, Kevin.
Kevin's been a very good friend of the college. And
yes.
We appreciate his support in terms of what he's done in the legislature for this part of the world.
Oh, yeah. He's done a tremendous job, and we appreciate what you have done, Kevin.
Yes.
Now, speaking of Kevin Brooks, he was...
he was the other night.
Yes. Last Tuesday and last Thursday, we ran a live debate from Lee University, the Dixon Center, for the 22nd and 24th districts congressional, and also for the school board and the county commission. This Tuesday, this night at 6 o'clock, we're going to have the political forum for congressional district 3 and 4 and a discussion on the wheel tax. We want to thank Cleveland State, obviously, for hosting this. Let's talk about that. It's going to be in the new auditorium, and we're going to be able to be broadcasting this live. Tell us about the excitement on campus here to have this.
Well, I think it's important what we're trying to do, and I appreciate Jimmy Logan thinking about, to get in touch with us. We're trying to bring as many people on campus as we possibly can. Not everyone comes to us to take a credit course, and so to me, we're trying to open up the campus to the community for a variety of activities, and this just happens to be one that I think is perfect.
Yes.
We've had the renovated auditorium. The acoustics are great. We just redid all the seating. And so we think it's a great venue to host this, and we're hoping that there'll be good turnout, but at the same time, because it's being broadcasted, if people can't get out, I'm hoping they'll take the time, because the worst thing that can happen is that people vote that are uninformed about the issues. And to me, I know the tax referendum has been very controversial. Yes. I will say this, I think education is very, very important to any community, and really the future of any community is going to depend upon how educated the folks are in that community. And the larger and the more educated folks they have, the more choices they will have in terms of what can happen in that community. And so to me, anything that supports schools needs to be supported. I think
that's a little bump for you to... yes.
That's
a big
yes.
Whatever.
That's a big yes.
The positive box.
Education. I think you see a bumper sticker or something that, if you think education is expensive, ignorance is very expensive. And so to me, I think that says a lot.
It does.
I think between Martin and Johnny, they do a great job of running the school systems in a very challenging time. When I look at schools and what they deal with today and what they're asked to do compared to when I went, it's a very different ball game. And so we need to support our schools in any way that we can. And facilities is a major part of any school system, because school classrooms are changing drastically, and the school systems better be set up and the classrooms set up to handle all this new technology, because that's where education is going.
Those kids are so smart. We get tickled because we've used kids in the technical departments in the high schools that I have to pick up because they can't drive, but they're plugging into my lighter and editing stuff on their Mac, their $5,000 Mac, and having it ready, but they can't drive a vehicle. But buddy, they've got that media sense. It's
they live in, we're trying to figure out ways at the college that we can use the technology they're growing up with. In fact, even just an iPad or iPhone, whatever, they can access. They could be. The best story I saw was a cover of a magazine. Had two little girls who were in 4th grade. They were sitting on a school bus doing their homework because they had handhelds. They were doing their math homework while they were going home on the bus, which is usually wasted time.
Right.
And so to me, they're just like us. They could be studying any time of the day, and what they can access in terms of the technology, it's
Unbelievable.
phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. But we do appreciate everything that Cleveland State has done for us and the
Right.
mutual.
I mean,
we're glad to have you. We're glad to have you here.
we
are on
absolutely love it.
campus.
It's been a great relationship. We've had it for a long time.
Yes, we have.
And we enjoy being here. And again, it's just it's a wonderful place to come if you getting out of school or you're wanting to go back to school and you're thinking of what's a great educational institution. Cleveland State Community College should be your first answer. And again, the tuition is very, very cost effective. You're going to learn because tremendous faculty here,
yes.
and they do everything they can to help the student, and the community as well. We want to thank you for being with us, Dr.
Well,
Knight.
thank you
so
for getting
much.
me up so early in the morning.
Yeah.
We have a
Go
hard
back
time
home
with
and go
this
back to
guy.
bed.
That's right. Go back home.
I will do that.
We can make him buy his breakfast.
Yeah, we'll
That's
try
right,
that.
Let's do that.
All right, folks, don't forget tonight, 6 o'clock, the political forum
Yes,
right here
come
from the
out.
campus of Cleveland State. Come on out or join us on television. It's going to be great. Again, congressional districts 3 and 4 and the wheel tax
gonna yell
debate.
about
It's
the
going to be a
wheel
little
tax.
exciting. But in any case, we thank you for joining us on this Tuesday for Tennessee Valley This Morning. I'm Joe. This is Kim Palo. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning on Wednesday's edition. See you.